the big factor on this is the turnovers and the steals, which is not usually common in the game to make the difference in the 18-point lead that we have, Mike.
Definitely, and that was a great breakdown, Gary, because basically you're saying between the turnovers and the steals, that led to the points.
Exactly.
That's good stuff. And speaking of points, when you look at the Volcanoes sheet here, a lot of balance. Bryson, 13, Bryson McKenzie. You have Yuskoski with 11. You have Hartman with 11. And then a host of other guys, Damon King with 8, Pip Bloodsaw with 7, and the list goes down. And the bench, my X factor, Gary.
Right.
Gary Muzzy, 5 points. Tiefenthaler, 4. Michael Cooper at deuce. Porter Troop, 3. Kevin Tyner, 2. And Bryson, 13. So is my X factor better than yours right now?
Well, I think both X factors are important in today's game.
If you look at the, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, well, in the turnover and steals shows that we're playing a lot better defensively, obviously.
And you're looking for the hot shots. Chris Session leading the way with 16 points. And after that, it gets really sparse. Justin Lockhart, 8. Jordan Gregg, 6. And then not much after that. It just doesn't look good for the hot shots the second half, Gary, unless they get some kind of infusion of offense. And Haston Stewart, who is averaging those 24.5 points a game, he's at 5 right now. They need some help. So let's see if Uncle Cliffy can get things working in the second half against his former team. To start the second half, the Volcanoes have the same starters from the beginning of the game: Hartman, Tiefenthaler, Yuskoski, Bloodsaw, and King. Tiefenthaler going to work underneath, and he is fouled. Foul is on number 22, Justin Lockhart, for the Hotshots. The Hotshots, they just don't seem to have a lot there right now, Gary. It's just kind of like bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's what it feels like right now. I think they've got some pieces, and it's just a matter of trying to put it together, but they just can't seem to get quite a run going.
Well, momentum is everything, and especially when the team's playing tough defense like the Volcanoes are, it's going to be really tough to get back in this game.
Now, Tiefenthaler at the line, Gary, this is pretty interesting. Coming into tonight, he was at 65%, 19 of 29, and like I was saying, he came off that 21-point performance last Saturday. Good stuff with 11 rebounds. Very nice, and an assist to boot. Damon King coming back up for the Volcanoes for the jump shot. It's good for DK.
Wow, that's going to be deadly right there.
Yeah, we need to have an interview with him after one of these games. He did play with the Volcanoes a couple of years ago, had a very good year, and then he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth, at least in Vancouver, at least in our sphere of things. And
right.
I'd like to find out what happened and where he's been since. Still looks very fit and like a very explosive player.
Yeah, that would be a good pick, Mike. Thanks for suggesting that, because we need to know what happened to him.
Well, rock, paper, scissors for the next interview. I want one, Gary.
Okay.
It's 70-48 in favor of the Volcanoes. Just under 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Actually, the way my voice is getting hoarser and hoarser, you may be doing that tonight.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm hoping. And fans, you heard it here. If it doesn't happen, email Gary, VancouverVolcanoes.com, and ask him why.
Oh,
Cliff White, he dishes off. No good. Get the ball out of here. Cliff White in the corner. Jump shot after the up and under fake. Akpan on the rebound. Fouled on the play. And Akpan, Gary, like I said, he's just very interesting with the emotion and whatnot. 5 points in the first half, 5 rebounds, an assist. So he's putting some numbers up, but he's more of a role player as opposed to the starting position that he's been playing, I think.
Right. In last game, when we played them, he had 10 points. So we'll see what he does tonight.
Yeah, a lot of those were in the second half, though. So let's see if he's got a second half like that coming into focus. Double team on Chris Session. Kicks it over to Cliff White for the 3. No good for the man from Uncle.
Oh,
Tim
boy.
Bloodsaw up ahead to Damon King. Tiefenthaler turned over the ball. Cliff White has it for the Hotshots. Passes down there for number 22, Justin Lockhart. Lockhart converts, so it brings the lead to an even 20, 70-50. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. I think last week the Volcanoes got up to about 28 at its biggest, Gary, so let's see what happens tonight. Hartman driving to the basket is fouled.
Well, we have another good crowd here tonight.
I agree with you totally, Gary. It has been the opening night. Momentum seems to be coming back a little more. And, of course, it being rainy outside kind of helps things out.
Right.
Next Friday, if you guys want something to do, come watch us against the Oregon Waves. It's Memorial Day weekend, but you don't want to do anything out of town. You can't camp anyway. They're all full, the campsites. Devin Yuskoski down low for the Volcanoes back there with the bucket. Pushes the lead back up to 22.
And it's probably going to rain anyway, Mike.
Exactly. And who wants to camp in the rain and who wants to go anywhere? You want to come right here to Clark College and watch the Volcanoes. The lead back to 20. Damon King to Yuskoski to Pip Bloodsaw. The double team comes over on him. So Devin trying to find some room to operate. Turnover goes off his leg. Hot shot basketball. And Jordan Gregg coming in for the hot shots. Let's see if they can get some kind of run. Replaces Justin Lockhart in the lineup. And Gregg's got to get on those 20 points, 20-plus points, Gary. He's got some work to do.
Right, 6 points at the half, and he's averaging 23.5, number 6 in the IBL, so he's going to have to get hot.
Well, let's see if he finds that explosiveness that we saw last week. The shot no good by Chris Session, and here come your Volcanoes. King goes to Pip Bloodsaw. Shaking and baking on that defender, but he stole it. Hassan Stewart, he was a thief in the night, Gary. He took that right from Pip, and here we go with the hot shots. Stewart back at him with the jump shot, no good. Akpon fighting for that rebound, but it is off of Tony.
Well, fortunately for us, Mike, they're getting their shots, the hot shots, no pun intended, but fortunately they're not going in.
Thank you. He'll be here all night. The Volcanoes bring it back. Damon King going over to Devin Yuskoski. A whistle on the play. And while we have a small break in the action, Gary, once again to let you know, the Volcanoes next Friday right here at the O'Connell Sports Center at Clark College versus the Oregon Waves. So thank you, China, for not coming with us. If we lose this game, it is all their fault, Gary. Three-pointer for Devin Yuskoski. And right now, Gary, looking at the total standings for the IBL, when you look at like all the teams in there, the Volcanoes sit in the middle of it at 6-4, but that's kind of deceiving because they're 6-1 over the last 7 games. They just kind of a tough start, 0-3, lost 2 up in Vancouver, BC, but they exercised those demons last Saturday with the victory over there, and that was huge for the franchise, their first ever win in Vancouver, BC. So anytime you can get the monkey off your back like that, they'd had many games there, losing by 4 and 6 points. So it was nice to win with some authority over there.
Well, the Volcanoes are projected to be one of the contenders in our division, so it's nice that they're right on track now.
Chris Session hits it for the hot shots. That closes the lead 75-54. And the Volcanoes, let's see what happens. Well, what happens is Tiefenthaler for a 3, in and out. Cliff White gets the rebound, and let's see what Cliff wants to do. He wants to take it to the rack. And he does.
Yeah, typical Cliffy White move.
Very typical, and I'm sure the Hot Shots would like to see a lot more of that, as he had 4 points in the first half. He'll probably end up with a good 16 or so, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, he should hit double figures, I think, Mike.
Rebound by Session, up ahead to Stewart. And the Hot Shots working down low, but no good. Here come the Volcanoes. Bloodsaw kicks it over to Hartman. Pass is deflected by Hassan Stewart. Volcano basketball. Substitution for the Volcanoes, 55, Bryson McKenzie. Coming in for Alex Tiefenthaler, number 33.
Well, Alex has played hard. He deserves a rest. And like I say, you know, we don't lose too much. In fact, with Bryson coming in, we gain a little bit.
Yes, and Tiefenthaler has had some things going for him in the first half. He had 4 points and 4 boards. 4 minutes. He started and got a little bit of time in, so let's see what happens for the rest of this half. Back to the action here. Foul on the play. So we are looking at some free throws is what it looks like. Well, no, it doesn't. They're like, Hot Shots, come over here. We want you to inbound. No one really quite knew what was going to happen there, including us. And that's Hassan Stewart kicking it out to the side. Three-pointer no good. And Stewart comes up with the loose ball. Over to Magnuson. Magnuson wanted to put a move on Yuskoski, but didn't. And now the Volcanoes extending that defense out. The shot clock was running down too. The Hotshots just got in a real bad offensive set there. And folks, so you know, this game will be seen on Channel 11 on Comcast and Fort Vancouver Television. Fantastic job. It gets better each week. John McConnell and the crew, Ron Carr and the rest. A big thank you to you guys because the hard work is very much appreciated because it takes a lot to make you and I look halfway decent, Gary.
That looked very good. That looked pretty good there.
Will we look all decent by the end of the year? That's up to you and I because John and his crew have put us in a position to get this done. Once again, Fort Vancouver Television, Channel 11. Back to the action. Volcanoes 77, Hotshots 58, and you're looking at 5:32 left in the third quarter. McKenzie down low versus Akpon. Magnuson comes over to help. Yuskoski for a three, no good. But Pip Bloodsaw comes in and gets that rebound. Timing is so good with that ball player, Gary.
Well, timing is everything, and I'll tell you, he's doing all the right things tonight.
Yep, Pip, the original Volcano. The last of the original 6 years ago. Seems like it was yesterday, I tell you.
It does. It does. The original Volcano. It's not Kano, but it's Pip.
Exactly. Pip is. And so Pip came in the first year, and then Brad Lettenberg and Porter Troop the second year, I think it was. And things have been filling in ever since. I think this is Hartman's fourth year with the franchise. So they really like to build and keep some players around, which is really good for continuity. No tip-in on the play.
Well, speaking of continuity, Mike, you've been here since day one, I think, with the franchise.
Exactly.
So congratulations to you.
Thanks, Gary. I think you and Brian came along, and you and Brian Hunter, I think it was the third year, right?
Yeah. Right, yep, third year.
I think that was Hartman's first year, too. Nice pass to a cutting Kevin Tyner from Hartman. And, I mean, you remember that first year, Mountain View?
Oh, yeah.
Spacious Mountain View High School.
Yeah, huge.
This is much more fitting to what us and what we want to do here. Yuskoski for a three-pointer. No good. Rebound on the play, Central Oregon. Justin Lockhart. And Pip wanting that steal, Gary. He's wanting some more steals. The ball is loose.
Oh, nice
Pip's
try.
diving. Did he get it? He helped out. Hustle play, Pip Bloodsaw. The crowd needs to give him a hand.
Great effort, and 38 years young.
Exactly. Well, and rumors of Japan in the summer, huh?
Absolutely. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Big trip coming up.
Gary is the power broker, ladies and gentlemen. He is the power broker of Vancouver for basketball. McKenzie was looking for Muzzy down to the game, off of Muzzy's hands. Hot shot basketball. So substitution, Gary Muzzy in. Devin Yuskoski takes a seat. It's really nice. Yuskoski hasn't played a whole lot of minutes tonight, but he's been very productive with what he's been doing.
All our tall guys, our benches have been very productive coming off the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you. The bigs have been very efficient tonight. It's been very nice to see. Hotshots trying to looking for something on running the play. Magnuson with Muzzy on it. Magnuson going to the rack. Count two for the Candyman. Here comes Tyner back for the Volcanoes. Wonder how much more we're going to see Porter Troop tonight. We need to see him get another run in here, Gary. I want to see him stretch his legs out a little bit. He just got into town 2 days ago from Romania. He basically slept for a while, and he ran through the light workout yesterday with the team, and now he's here. Says he's going to make them all, make all the rest of the games.
Well, yeah, I think he'll be back in. The thing with Porter Troop, he's such a good player. I just hope he doesn't get called off to another European team during the season.
Porter?
That could happen.
No, it very well could, but it's just hard to say. When you have these guys, it's just how do you work your schedule, Gary, between this season and that season and overlaps? That's a tough thing to get at. And so the third quarter, Volcanoes are still getting it done. 3:29 left in that third quarter. And it's your Vancouver Volcanoes 79 and the visiting Central Oregon Hotshots 60.